Welcome to episode 5 of my crown obsession. This time I'm making a tiara. I'm Austin, by the way, if you're new here. Subscribe and enjoy the ride. So we're gonna start with making the ring band of the tiara. So get yourself 2 of these wire headband. I bought these on AliExpress and I will link all of my supplies that I used in the description box. So first I'm making the adjustable part of the tiara. What I'm doing right now is bending out this wire headband to give it the semi-circle shape. And then I just snap it in half and you got 2 pieces. And to connect them together, about 2 centimeters from the end of each piece, I use a flat nose plier to bend them. Like so. And then I just take some masking tape to hold them in place while I'm working on the next step. Okay, so take some copper wire. This is 25 gauge. Gold or silver, it doesn't matter, but I run out of silver, so you probably should use the silver one. So take about this much of wire. I forgot about the exact measurement, so probably about the length of a sandwich. To connect the piece together, so to make it easier to instruct, I'm gonna call this the top band, the middle band, and the bottom band. So the first thing you need to do is to anchor the wire by wrapping it around the top band. 4 to 5 loops is enough, and make sure you leave about 2 inches of wire off from the hook. And the hook will anchor the wire in place. Now for the other side of the wire, we're gonna wrap it around all 3 of the band, the top, the middle, and the bottom. And once you got from 3 to 4 loops, you're gonna alternate by wrapping it just around the top band. And then just repeat this one more time. And once you're done, just nip off the excess wire with a cutting pliers. And for the 2 inches of leftover wire on this side of the hook, you wrap it around the bottom band. And there you go. We're gonna do the same for the second knot. Make sure that the wire is tightly wrapped. You don't want any poking wire. So take a flat nose pliers and clamp the wire very tight in place. And once you're done, take off the masking tape and you got the adjustable part of the tiara. And this is how it works. When you pull the knots closer together, that's gonna make the tiara bigger. And in contrast, if you pull them away from each other, it's gonna shorten the tiara. And that is how the tiara is gonna fit on any head size. Alright, now take a second headband and we're gonna do it the same way as the first. Mark the center and I bend it into a V shape. And this is gonna be the front of the tiara. Gonna take my tea. I'm having a cough and I hope it's not corona. Then simply I glue them together with some E6000. Wait for about a minute for the glue to get tacky. And then just take the 25 gauge wire and wrap around the entire section. Make sure that you keep it tight. And I'm not talking to the bottoms. That's the base. Now we're gonna build the tiaras on this base. So I have selections of metal filigree. So to make the floral wreath design, I use 4 of this leaf filigree and then 1 of this 6 petals flower. So to give it the curved shape, I press it against this roller tape. You can use anything that is cylindrical. And then I test the curvedness by placing it on our base. Take some glue, apply it along the stem of these leaves. And then the stem gonna go right onto the ring. And then you need to wait for a few minutes for the glue to set. Now for the second leaves, I decide to position it like so. Yeah, and then just glue them on with some E6000, also known as very handy dandy glue. You can also use different type of transparent gel glue used for jewelry. They're all the same. They're gonna kill you. They're gonna kill you from all of that toxic vapor. If it smells toxic, you know that's the right type of glue. So make sure that you do this in a well-ventilated area, or at least wear a mask. You should be doing that anyway when you go out on the street at this time. So for the flower, I can't find any contact points to secure it onto the frame. So this time takes about 10 centimeter of 20 gauge wire, and I'm gonna bend it along the inside of the flower, and then we're just gonna glue it. And then use a plier, a chain nose pliers or a flat nose plier to press it down tightly so that the wire will bond to the flower filigree. And I use an even finer wire, about 30 gauge, to wrap the wire that we glue onto the flower. The wire wrapping will secure the bond even more. Wire wrapping is pretty much tying knots, but instead of using string, you use wire. I found that the connection between the flowers and the leaves lack something. I take this ordered design of flower filigree, but this time I cut up the petal and I use that petal to fill in the space. I just found it more visually pleasant that way. And to add more dimension to the leaves, I bent all of them, each to a different angle. And now you can see the difference. This is flat, and this is more natural looking. And I just take the 30 gauge fine wire to wire wrap the frame together to secure the bond so this tiara won't be broken apart. If you're interested in this kind of crown making, the gluing and the wire wrapping, I very recommend you to check out my other crown video, this Greek god crown. And there we go, that's the complete frame of the tiara. Normally, I would model my own crowns, but you guys already know that this tiara wouldn't look good on a guy, so I got my bestie over to help me with that. And we spent the next hour and a half whipping up some quick DIY fake jewelries, a necklace, and a pair of earrings. These look good on photo, but definitely not up close. Oh yeah, the project is not done yet. Okay, back to the project. As I said a lot of time, why would you make a crown without some rhinestones? I had bedazzled half of the tiara with diamonds off camera. It doesn't look like it took a lot of time, but that took me 6 episodes of Modern Family, so you get the idea. And now I'm gonna show you guys how to do the same for the remaining half of the tiara. So you're gonna need a plate to put your rhinestones. These are rhinestones about 2.8 millimeter in diameter. It has a flat back, so you can just stick them onto any flat surface. E6000 glue, of course. And this very helpful tool right here, a rhinestone picking pen. First, I bed up E6000 onto the surface of the tiara frame, and then take the wax head of the pen to pick up the rhinestone. Place the rhinestone onto the glue. Usually what I do is I use the other end of the pen to press the rhinestone securely onto the surface. And then you're just gonna repeat this for about 500 more times. And that's not even an exaggeration, because that's exactly what this tiara took, about 500 rhinestones. So yeah, make sure that you have Netflix or some movies playing on the TV while you're doing this. It's actually very relaxing. And voila! Oh, and for the big announcement, this tiara is available for pre-order on my shop. Yep, you guys can now purchase this tiara. Just visit austincutedough.com or click the link in the description box. And now for the photo shoot. You look good, bitch. Oh, wait, Austin? That's not the tiara you've been making the entire time in this video. That's actually another crown that I made. I just thought since I had my friends over, she could model both this tiara and that crown. So I'm giving you guys a little sneak peek on the next video. If you watch The Crown on Netflix, you would know that's one of Queen Elizabeth II's favorite crown. So video on that coming out soon. Stay tuned. Fashion at the top and whatever that is on the bottom.